Hi Taurus, I hope you're doing amazing. Welcome to a next 48-hour tarot reading for you. Do keep in mind, per usual, this is general, so just take what resonates and leave the rest behind. But remember that this is meant to pertain to the following 48-hour period for you, beginning around when you were guided or drawn to this video, not just following when I post it, all right? So apply it as you may, as you should. We're gonna just jump right into the tarot. Not feeling drawn to an oracle deck for you. And yeah, this is the watercolor tarot. I'm hearing a little bit dissatisfied, but a lot to learn through it all. Okay, a lot to remember through it all. What do we have for Taurus? The star. I feel as if you're being viewed as a star. Okay, you don't need to force it, and that's such a Taurus trait, right? You don't need to force it to succeed. You don't need to force it to see something grow. You don't need to force it to get the message across. But I feel like there's a lot of wordy messages coming through, right? To you, through you. I just feel like spirit is at work in the next 48. You may have heavy Aquarius in your chart, or just that placement is taking a focus for whatever reason. You may be exuding Aquarian traits at this time, feeling very intelligent and just owning it, okay? And just a bit vulnerable all the meanwhile, okay? Why do you feel as if you need to be wrapping oneself up with more vulnerable moments, okay? More changes and adjustments, because that's what's leaving you with more success. Okay, it's what's leaving you impressing others more so. It's the next 48 that reminds you that your stardom that's meant to be for you in the future, okay, even if it's not fully developed just yet, everything happens in divine timing. That's helping others in certain ways, or will help others down the line with them being shining in their own way, okay? Shine like the star you are. That's a reminder in the next 48, okay? Pouring from your cup to the cup of others entails strategic watering of one's health behind closed doors. Interesting wording. The basic message of that, as I stutter a bit, is to take care of yourself. Okay, make sure you're implementing self-care. Make sure you're taking breaks. Make sure you're getting a healthy night's rest, right? Taking naps is okay if you have the time to do so. This is all helping you pour into the cup of others more efficiently. Okay, so your helpful nature, I feel the need to say, is taking a focus in certain ways. Okay, you can only help others if you make sure to help oneself along the way. Doing what's right for you also is coming to mind. Okay, I just felt like I needed to let those fall. Okay, all right, so there's a situation that isn't perfect, and that's not over, at least not yet. Okay, this is meant to be in the upright. You're longing for more. You're longing for something different. You want your world to change and develop, but it feels like all the meanwhile something's doing so much better. It's so interesting how things work out that way. It kind of reminds me of when you no longer desire somebody, they want you more so, or when you just when you finally become tied up or wrapped up in a commitment with somebody, then all these people want you. You know what I'm saying? It just feels like they're saying an ass backwards kind of way of things happening, but it is what it is, right? Now, there's a reminder in the next 48 with this world here, okay, that your world is in your control. You're in the driver's seat, but you have spirit surrounding you throughout the next 48. Make you a little bit nervous to an extent. Other people, factors doing so as well, but they're here to assist. They're here to remind you, we got a plan, okay? And things are happening in divine order, in divine timing, so do not fret. Okay, I just heard let something sprout. Let something sprout. Very, very interesting. It's this reminder that even when it doesn't feel like it, things are falling into place. Okay, you've made certain strong, confident choices in the recent past, and even rewinding further back, and that's left you with more success, that's left you with more comfort in certain ways. But it's like this reminder to oneself and other people, a situation can change, right? A connection can change for the better or for the worse. And so it just feels as if you're not tying oneself down by feeling ultra attached to anybody or anything at this time, as I do feel like important people from your past are popping back up, and probably have been previous to this 2-day period, okay? There's a lot of communication in the next 48 and certain distractions taking place all the meanwhile. It's this vibe where even if I don't feel like putting in the work, I will, right? Even if I don't feel as if this is coming out right, it is, okay? So don't be surprised if spirit speaks through you. You might want to watch the Libra reading I just did. I do personally have both Libra and Taurus in my chart, but I do feel as if there's a focus on how easily you're connecting with people. You have a choice as to who you connect with, and you have a choice as to who you let go of and keep, I guess, just at arm's length, or just keep a distance from. Okay, who and what you surround yourself with, wrap yourself up with, can change you over time. That's also a reminder, as you need to keep the focus alive. Okay, the on oneself, on others, and what's healthy for you, right for you. But to keep the motivation alive, okay? And to be reminded of where you don't fit in is important as well, because that will help you make a change moving forward, okay? But yeah, I do feel like through your work or through your running your business, yeah, however it works for you, a lot of communication. You may find that the next 2 days speeds on by as you're not feeling rushed. Interesting, right? Kind of contradicting all the meanwhile. It's this sort of, I got a lot done, but I didn't move very quickly sort of vibe. But also time is kind of speeding by, and other people might feel a little bit stressed around you. Don't be surprised if that happens. But all the meanwhile, this Ten of Swords in reverse, once again, talking about a situation that isn't over yet. So you need to make the best. Okay, it doesn't feel ideal. But some of you being reminded, somebody you are energetically connected to, and or just have hung out or been connected in your physical reality in the past, that's not over yet. Even if you think it is, or even if you're not putting in the necessary effort, or they're not, or both, okay? What's meant to end will end when it's meant to, okay? Keep that in mind. And what's meant to be sparked in your situation as far as new beginnings, fresh starts, adjustments, changes, everything's happening when it's meant to. You need to remember that. But I need to have patience in the midst of what doesn't feel right for you anymore, or what doesn't feel healthy. Take a step back and gain a new healthy perspective. Keep your cool. That came out in Libra's reading. Take a deep breath and recognize that there's so much more to be gained in the near future, but it's not time yet. Okay? There's a focus on what is needing to be watered at this time, and what isn't going to bring any sort of healthy occurrences, healthy results. Don't focus on it. Okay? Don't focus on it. I just heard, take a deep breath. You've got it going on. We have the High Priestess, a very spiritually connected, intuitively guided next 48. When you feel drawn to go somewhere, don't question it. When you feel guided or just drawn to produce or develop in a moment, there's a reason for it. Divine timing is playing out in that sense as well, okay? You're evidence of the fact that when you don't give up, things will work out for you. But there's also a beauty in recognizing wholeheartedly and intuitively trusting when something doesn't need to be pursued anymore, okay? Or just quote unquote giving up on a situation or just letting it go can also work to your advantage, benefit your future all the meanwhile, and your inner peace or just the overall health of your life in general. That was wordy, but I feel like it came out well. Keywording. The Queen of Cups. Very much your helpful, sort of motherly, feminine way of being coming into play, okay? Being in touch with your feminine side in the next 48, but overly serious for whatever reason, okay? Why are you starting to get a pep in your step back a little bit, and then it feels like it drifts away from you? Interesting. When things feel dry, question why what and who's affecting you in that manner, okay? Don't allow for oneself to sit in energy, for those empaths down to the reading, when you feel stuck or you feel almost paralyzed. Escape. Okay, and you may even hear spirit say, go here, go there, get up, move, okay? But I just feel like it's a very, again, guided next 48. You're going to be hearing spirit loud and clear, okay? They're now saying keep your crown on, and utilize nature to your best advantage when you feel a little bit out of whack or just needing that regrounding, okay? Meditation will be important, but I do feel as if it's the next 48 that reminds you how wealthy you're meant to be in the near future, how successful, okay? And how your past efforts and even current day efforts are paying off for oneself, okay? 935, look up that angel number meaning, as there is a message for you. It's in moments of things feeling quite, sticky, quite dry or just imperfect in a lot of ways, a bit heavy in energy, that you're reminded of the positives that lie ahead for you, okay? As a spiritual leader for some drawn to this reading, you need to remember that that comes with so many damn obstacles along your path, okay? And what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Okay, death coming to mind, or taking a focus. Literal death, right? You might have lost somebody recently, or just somebody passed over, gives you that thought. Interesting. The Ace of Wands, because I really do feel like through levels of patience taking place, needing to be dug for at times, there's a passionate fresh start for oneself, okay? I feel as if your focus, what you focus on, it will grow. What you focus on, what you water, will prosper. Keep that in mind. Pairing what you do in a passionate way with something else that isn't as passionately driven or is fulfilling for you can be productive, or just may feel necessary at this time. It reminds me of how I need to acquire a part-time job to pair with these readings, this business I run, because it's not at the point where it can solely support me just yet. Do you know what I'm saying? Something of the sort is taking a focus for you as the wheel is turning for you in your favor. It is a bit of a lucky time for you, Taurus, but I do feel like in certain other ways you may feel a bit unlucky due to how a situation is progressing, or how things are unraveling for you, right? Or just the delay of a specific manifestation for you, or even when it comes to certain spiritual messing with. But all in the meanwhile need to recognize now they're showing me multiple wheels that are turning in your favor. It is a lucky time, okay? So put in that hard work and then rest, replenish, implement self-care, and recognize that things will change when they're meant to, okay? You're one strong individual, and that's also being reminded to oneself as the next 48 trickles by, okay? Let me pull one or two more before we wrap this up. The Sun card, you need sunlight, okay? Some of you thinking about sunnier days, how something isn't making you as happy, completion coming to mind once again. Look at this. They're specifically drawing me to this sun right here. Not a happy face in the midst of that sun, but you're exuding positive vibes, and I just feel like you're radiating, okay? Your energy is contagious. Keep that in mind. We also have the Seven of Wands over here, a lot coming towards you, okay? A lot of compliments, praise, trying to protect your energy is what I'm getting from this, right? Especially if you're empathic. I just feel like when you're vibing high, you're a whole different level of contagious success. Keep that in mind. And so it just reminds you why you want things to switch up in the future. But just putting in the work and recognizing that you are meant to, or to remember that you're meant to be ultra successful in the future. And with the Knight of Pentacles, just move at a comfortable pace in the next 48, right? And once again, I feel like that's just going to happen either way. As you see oneself just desiring once again more something different, or multiple different somethings, if you will. But it just feels like as you go through a bit of a balancing act in the next 48, there's certain decisions you're being prepped for in the near future, okay? Certain pushes to do a bit of research online to see what's out there, right? Or just to try something different, to switch something up slightly and see how that affects things, okay? A bit of an experiment, if you will, okay? Trial and error, potentially, is what I want to call it. But I really do feel like through certain levels of chaos, you need to recognize that you can handle it. You've been prepped for this. If I didn't mention it already, how did you best handle a difficult situation in the past, even if it's not 100% or at all similar? There's something to recognize about what you're going through at this time, okay? They're saying, again, produce and develop when you feel guided to by your intuition, by spirit, and just try to have fun. Try to make the next 40, even though it won't fully feel like it. Try to make it a light-hearted period for oneself. Go on an adventure, go for a walk, a stroll, workout. Find yourself getting a release and just feeling lighter in energy, okay? A restart, if you will. This is going to benefit you greatly. And I do feel the need to say what you choose to wear for clothing throughout each of the next 2 days, absolutely relevant as to what you're going through on a core level, okay? How the day's meant to unravel. Spirit might even guide you to put on a specific piece of clothing, all right? But it's the next 48 that, again, will feel a little bit heavy in certain ways, but it's very guided, very important for one's current day situation and what lies ahead. A lot is going to change in the near future, so do keep that in mind, as I feel like There's the potential to give birth to a new job, a new situation in general. But I feel like as well, you're going to feel a lot of love flowing towards you, a lot of support, a lot of praise, and a few little bits and pieces of negativity, okay? But it's a very successful next 48 where you need to keep one's head in the game, take care of oneself, and do what you gotta do when you gotta do it, period. And again, don't rush. So I hope this was truly helpful. Sending you so much love and light. Go enjoy your next 48, and I'll definitely see you next time. Bye, Taurus.